Welcome to the September meeting of the Commission on Aging. We are, as Brent Musburger used to say on Super Bowls, live on TV 79, okay? One thing I should mention while we're talking about TV 79 is Jim Cameron asked me to put this on record. Darien TV has been shuffled again. After 17 plus years as TV 79, Optimum Cable moved us up to channel 1310. And this is my commentary. Everybody went crazy saying, what are you guys doing? They're TV 79. And as a result, they are moving back to channel 79. So as noted, Jim says, confusing to many viewers. So folks, turn back to TV 79. And if you're watching us live on TV 79, you already know this. If you're watching us on tape on Vimeo, you can find us on TV 79. And their programming continues on cable, YouTube, and Twitter. As Jim says, we are here for you. There you go. That's a big speech. You're welcome, Jim. I know you're watching. And so as a result, first order of business is our discussion. Oh, sorry. First, I want to welcome Brittany Netherton from the Darien Library. She's going to speak to us in a bit on a new program, the Reading to Connect book collection and accompanying program. And that collection, as she'll discuss, is designed to bring back the joy of reading for adults living with dementia and other cognitive challenges. We'll get to you in a second. Perfect. Thanks so much. July minutes. Does anybody have any changes to the July minutes? Hearing none. Can I have a motion to approve? Thank you. Second. I will abstain because I was not here. Sue did such a great job chairing the meeting, and I simply wasn't here. So as a result, thank you so much. So I'll abstain from the approval of the minutes. Our next discussion is the Human Services and Mather Center report.
Oh, here we go.
There you go, Allie. You're on.
I asked them to be quiet. I wanted to. I'll pass these around. Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So, let's see. For Human Services, we, first of all, I have to say Cynthia's back from maternity leave, so I am happy. Yes, welcome back, Cynthia. She came back on Monday, thank God. So we restarted our energy assistance program this week, taking oil clients first, as we usually do, so that they're ready to go to get deliveries in November 1st. We're still kind of waiting to hear funding-wise. We haven't had any clear communication from the people who train us in terms of cuts. I'm sure there's going to be, but right now we're just kind of taking it day by day. So people can call us to start. So like September 15th was the first day for oil customers, and then the 20th of October is when we do all electric and utilities, because they have plenty of time. They have till the spring to apply. They just get a credit to their account. Renters rebate, a few more days left. So September 25th is the last day to apply. And it was great because while Cynthia was out, Carly Hayes and Amy Warnock, our program assistants, were trained to do it so they could do it while she was, on maternity leave. Anyway, so we're almost done with that. The next QPR session we are going to have, Question, Persuade, Refer, is that 90-minute training on how to interact with someone who might be having a mental health crisis or suicidal thoughts, is going to be on October 20th.
Allie, hold up a second. I'm going to violate all kinds of rules here. Don't care. Hello, TV 79. Hello, everybody. This is ridiculous. You can't have lawyers outside chatting forever. Guys, we're doing a public meeting here. Down the hall, please. Thank you. Sorry, Allie, you're up.
I'm glad the lawyer did
that. You're up again. Thank you.
Okay. So the next QPR session is scheduled for October 20th, and it's here in this room, and it's from 12 to 1:30. And again, we're trying to get everybody who we can to participate in that program. So that's about it. I have my usual loan closet. We actually have had so many donations that we had to clear things out and stop taking donations for a little while. We welcome donations, but we only have so much space to
What do you actually take?
We take walkers, transport chairs, new commodes or new shower chairs, not even gently used, because we don't want to be, the hygiene purposes, makes sense, right? Yeah, so and canes, stuff like that. Okay, so now moving on to the Mather Center. Things are going great, and it's bustling down there every day. We're getting new people signing up. We actually did just take some people off the wait list because people from out of town, there's never a wait list for Darien residents, but we do have to kind of limit, but we were just able to take some more people off the wait list. the Darien Foundation, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they gave us a grant of $25,500 to purchase new audio. If anyone follows them on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see pictures and stuff. But it's new audio visual equipment. I'm reading this because I'm not very AV savvy. 2 ceiling-mounted projectors with a retractable screen and a portable ViewSonic interactive touchscreen. Basically, in the cafe, we have a huge screen that comes down. You've seen it. We did bingo on it recently when we had the big bingo. That's retractable, so we can show movies, do whatever we want to do on that. But then they also have a portable one, which they've used with you, with Reminisce with
Right.
Rosie.
Yeah, music.
The portable TV with a projector, so it's great. So we're so grateful to them. And moving on, we started taking credit cards. Bear with us. It's we're figuring it all out. And thanks to Angie DeMeglio, who's our receptionist and billing specialist, that's her project and baby. But the seniors are thrilled to have that option and not have to pay cash all the time. Even some of the older seniors, we weren't sure, but they're whipping out their credit cards. So, but we are going to pause it for a week because Andrew's going on vacation, and since this just happened for a couple of weeks until we all get on board, so then we'll all get trained in it. But that was a big accomplishment. And also I passed around, I don't know if I had enough copies, I made 10 copies. The map, so we did do the member survey. There were, I think, 49, you can look through it or take those with you. So thanks to Dawn Roy, she's the one who gathered all the information and prepared this PowerPoint. And we did meet with the seniors after lunch one day to go over it. It wasn't a large crowd, but we're trying to share with them the feedback that we had. And what we found, there was nothing like alarming. Most of what we found was we think that people weren't aware that you can look at the website or things are listed in the programs and in the weekly constant contact, because some people were saying we need this, we need that, and we actually have those things, like ping pong or something like that. So nothing drastic changes, but we are incorporating some new classes. And one thing that they did want was to have a grief support group, so I did just start that last week. And we'll do that monthly. I think it's the 3rd Thursday.
Second Thursday of the month.
Okay, 2nd Thursday, because 1st and 3rd is the caregiver support group. We expanded that to twice a month because the participants, we thought it would make sense, because if they miss once a month, a lot can happen with the person they're caring for, which is actually what Brittany and I were talking or emailing about this. I'm excited to hear about your program. That if they miss a month, a lot can happen, right? So this gives them options. They can come to both, or they can just come to one. So that's going strong. What else? So yeah, so you can breeze through, you can look through this at your leisure. And for the first time, with the health department and Stop and Shop, Mindy Chamberlain reached out to see if we could have a vaccination clinic for seniors. So the first one's going to be on Monday, the September 29th, from 9 to 12 down at the center. Stop and Shop brings all their stuff, and they have a pharmacist and I guess a technician or someone who administers the shots. That take all insurance except for Aetna. You don't have to have an appointment.
Why not Aetna? What's the issue?
It must not be a network with Stop and Shop Pharmacy.
Fascinating, okay.
Yeah, I don't know more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're offering flu, COVID-19, shingles, pneumonia, RSV, and Tdap. And if you do get your first one, they're coming back again in October for a second one. So for the shingles, you have to have 2 shots. So the second clinic will be on October 20th from 9 to 12. So you can come just once, or if you do the shingles, you can come to both. So we're excited about that, to make that convenient for everybody. And so then I just give you some highlights, but then I also did attach to this the whole newsletter, because there's so much information in there. So the second round, actually, they did bridge last year, but a new bridge class was starting in September. And then we just started a Zumba Gold, which is pretty fun. And the teacher, his name is John Conrad. Have you seen it yet?
No, I heard about it.
Yeah.
The fact you've heard about it says
Well,
something.
he's great.
I heard he's terrific.
He's great.
He
And
owns that record shop.
I didn't realize that until recently. Yes.
It's Johnny's. No, I
Wow.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
And they said he's great.
He is, and it's before we met with him, before Liz and I met with him, he said, just to let you know, I think he's 75. He's like, I'm 75. And we're like, we don't discriminate, right? And he was awesome. So it's only, I think, happened 2 times
Yeah,
or
they
2
said
weeks.
they love it.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. And then just some other highlights of things that are coming up, which is a popular, from what I understand, the Sedgwick Sisters. Have you ever seen them?
Tuesday.
Yeah. And then I told you about the vaccine clinic. Then another one on September 30th is Dr. Schuster, a Stanford-based cardiologist, How to Live to 110. So it should be interesting.
It used to be 100.
Well, now
it's
he moved it up.
110.
He knows the Darien seniors live long. You know.
Because they're all going to be doing Zumba.
Dr. Schuster himself is almost 100.
And then in October, we're doing birthday parties once a month, which is fun. It's like right after lunch, and then Oktoberfest. And then, I don't know if you're in Darien Men's. Are you part of the New Wave Singers?
No.
To put you on a spot.
New Wave Singers if I was smart.
So they created a new group, and they're going to be performing on October 9th.
Are they actually going to be performing new wave music?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question.
That'd be interesting if
Yes,
they're
I
doing
don't think so. I doubt it.
Pet
but-
Shop Boys, all that stuff.
Yeah, right. That's not even new wave, Joe.
It's not? That's sad.
Wrong generation.
Wrong generation.
Gonna be BTS now.
And then on October 29th, there's going to be Meet the Candidates. So some of the local people that are running would be John Zagrodzky, Kathy Larkins, the tax collector, Joan Hendrickson, the treasurer, and Kristen McNamara, our town clerk. So they're going to have.
What date is that?
It's on the 29th of October. And then the Halloween parade and party on the 30th of October.
Nice.
So, all right, that's it.
Thanks, Ally. Questions for
You
Ally?
forgot
What did I forget?
the piano.
Oh, I did forget it.
So if anybody here plays the piano,
Yes, okay, so and I'm gonna get the name correct. Thank you, I tried. There's a lot. Where is the news? So a family recently donated a baby grand piano. It's in the lobby. We're waiting for it. I don't know if it's actually been tuned yet, but we're waiting for it to get tuned before anyone can.
Oh, it's in
find
the
it.
lobby.
Yeah, you didn't see it?
No.
It's right there, near the fireplace. Where is the name of the family? I think it was Hagney. Okay, now look how much they put in here.
And then you have the other piano on the stage, right?
Yes, with a regular piano.
Right.
Okay. I'll have to get back to you on the name of the family for next month. But yes, it's a
Awesome.
great addition. Yes.
Very cool.
That's great.
And Ally was recently honored, or is going to be honored in October. Tell us about that. What's going on?
Well, thanks to you, Joe. So the SWACA we've been, I think I mentioned it a few months ago, how we've been recognized as a focal point for seniors in our town. So, and I think it's October 16th, I forget the date of. They're having a recognition breakfast for all the people of all the local towns in SWACA who are also focal points. So
Where will that be?
it's at the Inn at Longshore, and actually people can buy tickets. We got two tickets that they gave to us. So Liz O'Brien is going to be coming with me, so
Yay.
that's great. But yeah, it is actually a fundraiser too for it's at the Inn at Longshore. I can get you that information if you want to come. Yeah.
Cool. Congrats.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna go and support.
Yeah. Okay. I can send an email to you guys with the invitation.
Awesome. Any questions or comments for Ally? Hearing none. Whoops. Nope. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks, Ally. Appreciate it. And now, without further ado, Brittany, you are up to discuss the new Reading to Connect book collection.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, for allowing me to come and share this with you guys. So the ability to read is something that our loved ones with dementia can retain even into the later stages of their dementia. And yet many adults that are living with dementia stop reading, but it's not because they can't read, it's because they can't read traditional print literature. It just isn't conducive to their reading. And so we're happy to announce that at Darien Library, and I've passed these around, we now have a collection full of books that are designed and written specifically for adults with dementia and other memory challenges. So these books are, I gave you an extra, Peter. These books are designed in extra large print with helpful illustrations throughout. But the big thing that you'll notice is these are not children's books. We find a lot of times people will come into the library, oh, I'm so sorry, Chris, that people might come into the library and they're looking for books for somebody with dementia, and they sort of gravitate towards the children's books because they are the ones that have few words on a page and that have images. The difference with these books is that these retain the integrity of adult literature. So these are going to be about topics that older adults are interested in, and that will spur memories for those people. So the books are from an organization called Reading to Connect, and that organization specializes on research in dementia and reading. So these books will allow the library to serve a segment of our population that really hasn't been served by traditional literature. So I'm going to show you some of the collection. I've passed some around. The first part of it is the single books. We have 25 books that can be checked out or used in the library for solo reading. So these books cover many topics, as you can see, including poetry, animals, travel, historical events, gardening, babies. Some of them include read aloud activities.
Wow.
And so you can interact with the reader. They are designed to spark conversations. So some of them might have like a fill in the blank. So you can work with your loved one to see, you know, how many of the blanks they can fill in. And the creator of this program, Susan Ostrowski, I have heard her say that like you might be surprised at how many of the things in these books your loved one will remember that you maybe didn't expect. Additionally, we are going to have book kits. So the book kits are going to contain 4 copies of the same book, and then a book stand. The book stand is so that, you know, your loved one, if they maybe are struggling with their fine motor skills, they don't have to hold the book. You can prop it in front of them. You can get it at exactly the right angle for them to be able to read. And these are designed to be used either in a group home setting. So maybe the residents at Selleck Woods might borrow it for their memory care unit, and you could have 4 people with memory issues reading the same book together, which is a really beautiful thing. Or you can use it as a family. You know, if you wanted to check this out to use it with your loved one, people of all generations can sit together and in a circle read this book and have sort of like that that really beautiful moment with your loved one. So in addition to these materials, the program also provides a packet of worksheets that will give you tips and tricks to set the reader up for success. So things that you might not think about, like make sure their glasses are clean. You know, they may not be able to tell you that their glasses have a smudge and that's the reason that they can't read what's in front of them. It will talk about making sure that the lighting is correct. It even includes an eye chart, so you can figure out the best distance to put the book away from them to help them be able to read. And so the entry level to this is really basic. Anybody, you don't have to be an expert or have any formal training on how to do this sort of thing. You can read the packet, have it ready to go, and we will have 6 different kits. So the ones I brought with me today are about baking and birding. We have some about dogs. One of them is about travel. So if you want to learn more about the collection, I did bring a flyer. I invite anybody to join us at the library on Tuesday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. We will have, and I am going to read this part so that I don't mess up anybody's name. We are going to have Susan Ostrowski, who's the co-founder of Reading to Connect, in conversation with Carolyn DeRocco from the Alzheimer's Association Connecticut chapter, and Don Clark from the residents at Selleck Woods. These books will all officially become available after that program. So if you come to the library right now, they're not available. We are still getting them processed. We will launch them officially after the program on Tuesday, the 23rd. If you're interested in attending, you can register on the library's website, or you can call the reference desk. I'm going to give you the phone number, 203-669-5236, and somebody at the reference desk will be happy to sign you up.
I'm sorry, will you repeat that one more time? I just want to write it down.
203-669-5236. And then as a general reminder, September is library card sign-up month. So if you are in town and you do not have a library card, we ask that you come visit us this month, and we'll sign you up, and then we can register you for the program at the same time.
Awesome.
Is this this organization, Reading to Connect, is this
Yeah.
local?
They are not
Connecticut,
local.
or-
They're not local, but the way I found out about them is that Susan was at the Connecticut Library Association conference this year and was presenting about the program. And for years, we, have had people who would come into the library and say, "Do you have something that I can bring to my loved one who has dementia or Alzheimer's?" And there never seemed to be a good resource to fill that need. And so when I went to this conference and I heard Susan speak, I was like, there it is.
That's how you found
That's
out
it.
about it.
Mhm.
That's great. I'll bring this to the caregiver support group tomorrow and give
Yes,
them the flyer.
please, absolutely.
I did
And
mention it to them last time.
If they have any questions, you have my contact information, you can give it out. I'm happy to answer anything.
Thanks.
The brilliance of this is the fonts,
Yes.
and the pictures, and so, as someone that has a, parent with dementia, I think a wonderful tool. So my next phone call is to Tallahassee, Florida, to see if they have such things down there.
Yeah, and if they don't, you can tell them that they can get this same program. They have it nationwide.
Very cool,
Yeah.
very cool. Any other questions for Brittany?
Excellent. I just wish you'd had it 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's, I think a lot of research being done about this that never had been done before, so.
It's really great. Thank you so much, Brittany.
Yeah, of course.
You're
Thank you
welcome
for
to
having
stay
me.
for the rest of the meeting or
I
take
think
off.
I'll join you
Okay,
guys.
that's wonderful, thank you. Awesome. Next order of business is old business. Anybody have any old business? Peter?
It's been a couple months and it's been busy, so I have good news and not so good news. And we'll start with the good news. On Monday, Kathy and I and 3 other AARP volunteers were at Family and Children's Services in Norwalk. We were invited by Governor Lamont and Senator Duff because they signed the Consumer Protection and Privacy Act. Senate Bill number 3. It's a major win, okay? And in a way, there's not many states that have it. But again, I'd encourage you to read about Senate Bill 3, but I'll give you just 3 quick examples of what's in there. For example, in our privacy safeguards, if you buy a television today, for example, a Samsung or any other television, it's equipped with recording devices, and you may find that you get commercials geared to what you're looking at because somebody's monitoring you. That's going to stop, okay? Another example is hidden fees and automatic renewals. And Governor Lamont used a very good example of, somebody saving up $500 to get Britney Spears tickets for their kids, and then finds out you have $200 in processing fees added to that $500. Again, not necessarily going to stop it, but it's going to be visible, so they're not going to be able to do it anymore. And then the third thing was the ability to self-service electronic devices. So if you're technically capable and you have a cell phone or a computer you need a repair, you don't have to go to the Apple store. You can actually do that repair yourself, and it's not, and so that they're not going to be able to lock you into that position anymore. So that's a significant, I think, win. And that bill passed both houses and passed unanimously. In AARP, we pushed a lot of that through, and they recognize that. The Aging and Disability Summit is Monday, October the 6th. It's at AquaTurf in Plantsville. Allie's going. I'm delighted she's going. 425 people last year. It's almost sold out. I'm going to moderate a panel on artificial intelligence as it relates to older and disabled people. In other words, looking at devices with artificial intelligence to improve their, and we have two amazing doctors that are specialists in this area that have developed programs. So that's pretty much the good news, okay? The not-so-good news, the Connecticut Long-Term Advisory Committee, which is a state-mandated organization, met on Monday, and I sat through it and eavesdropped on it. The state mandates a 3-year plan, and they're in the process of doing that. But in the course of it, they talked about some of the things going on. And for example, how budgets are really starting to impact senior programs. The Senior Center Coordinator, for example, position has been discontinued. I don't know if you know this or not, it's been discontinued. They're going to put together a Medicaid 101 program, because Medicaid is going to be a lot more under fire and complicated. And it's going to be for municipal agents, senior center managers, and organizations not for profit. You know what the wait time is on a Medicare call last week? If you call Medicare, wait time, 51 minutes. And in that time, more than half of the calls dropped off. And then those people don't call back. So there's going to be real stress. And the last thing they said was that volunteerism is down throughout. And so again, there's this feeling that people are kind of, again, isolating themselves or not willing to take a public position or a public stance. And so that's kind of troublesome. That's kind of troublesome. The other thing, a couple of other things, the Darien Library had its annual meeting on Sunday, and it was all good news. Kira Parrott celebrated her 5th anniversary as a director. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. And the programs are terrific. And again, I think, working more with At Home in Darien, for example, Senior Center, because that's one of their goals, to engage greater in the community. So that's important. We just got an email, I saw Tom looking at it this morning, from our registrar of voters. We're going to need poll people. And again, because of expanded voting, we're going to need poll people during the week. I don't know if Corey has a lot of people or not, but again, if you have people watching Channel 79 or Channel 1310 or whatever it is.
Back to 79, back to 79.
Might do that, okay. The last thing I want to talk about, and this is looking at the future. You know, there was a House Bill 7007 that did not pass this past year, and that's an act providing an income tax deduction for individuals caring for elderly persons, children, or disabled persons. The end of July, there's a national report shows that there's 63 million family caregivers in this country that are not getting support for their programs. And of those people, 6 in 10 are employed. And I'm sure many of you at this table, and many of you are caregivers. Even Kathy and I are still caregivers at our age. And it is something that really needs to get done. The legislature looked at it this past year. There's 2 ways to look at it. One is a tax credit for caregivers, and the other is a tax deduction. And the bill that was not passed, probably because it still hasn't gotten enough visibility, but it should be passed in the next year or so, was that one was tax deduction. Tax credits really benefit more all levels of income and all levels of society. So again, to push ahead. But again, when you're talking to your legislators, remind them, you know, if you, your kids, your parents are providing services and not getting paid, and you know, out-of-pocket money, gas, travel, it's something that happens in other states. We should be doing that in Connecticut. That's it, Joe.
Good. Questions for Peter? Hearing none. Other old business. Anything new on the snow? Thank you, Sue.
Yes, snow removal.
Snow removal.
I was supposed to go to the meeting in June and then in July, and both times they were canceled this past summer, but I will be attending on Tuesday, next Tuesday evening, the Housing Authority meeting to ask for a response to our letter about snow removal at the Royal. And just as a side note, I was in touch with John Zagrowski, and evidently the leadership has shifted a little bit. Joe Warren is still on the commission, but Peter Bigelow is going to take the helm, and there is Fred Conzi is a new member, so I'm hoping we'll get a positive response when we go to plea for the seniors to have their snow removed from their cars.
Right, and focusing on the handicap spaces,
Yep.
right? In other words, we recognize that there are plenty of people in there who
Can
do
handle it, yes.
But for handicap spaces, it's moronic that they don't clean off the snow when you have handicap spaces with handicap placards and you're a 55-plus community. Hello, right? So as a result, if you don't see anything, okay, we're now moving towards snow season. Let's put that back on our agenda in October, because then we need to go before the selectmen.
Yep.
Okay, and so let's hope that they do what's right, that they recognize we need, even whatever our contract says, you can always amend the contract, okay? To say, we'll pay these guys more to clean off handicap spots before they go through with the plow, so that these people can get their handicapped car
And we can
out.
get waivers signed. Their big thing was
Yeah.
liability of
Right.
scratching cars, but, yeah.
Yeah, if the the folks.
These are things that can be dealt with.
Absolutely, and I'm sure town council can come up with a very nice waiver. So at the end of the day, they certainly have them for other things. So let's hope that you have success on Tuesday. If not, we will rock again in
Yeah.
October. Okay, good stuff. Thank you for leading this. Appreciate it.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Other old business? I'm going to turn it over. My man, you got something from Aging in Place?
Yeah, thank you, Joe. So it's been a really busy year. Heading into this year, one of the things that we really wanted to consciously do to expand our services while we're still primarily known for transportation, really address isolation and loneliness. And I've talked about that in some of the other meetings that we've had. And a couple of quick updates. We've created a program that we called Out and About Eats. And I don't know if everybody's heard about that in this here, but it's been more than we anticipated, better than we anticipated. What we do is we reach out to local restaurants to see if they'd be willing to have a group meal, specially priced. They give us a flat rate that includes tax and tip, so everybody knows there's nothing at the end of what did I have and everything.
No hidden fees.
Yeah, no built-in fee. Perfect.
What kind of bill was that? 3?
Have Governor Lamont talk to me. We're very transparent. But it's worked out great. We've been to Paparazzi, The Goose, Hoonian Kitchen, Post Corner Pizza. We are working, today in fact, we're going to the convent at St. Brigida, which Peter was largely responsible for the suggestion. So we went there and talked to them, and it's turned into our largest attended lunch. We'll have 22 people there today.
Nice.
And we're bringing 12 people in our van, and others are driving there directly.
Do you have to be Catholic?
No, it's, but, so we can quantify the impact of it, right? We've got 67 unique people who have gone to this, 135 instances. So that by itself is great. But at the second lunch, somebody had called us, new to the town, came from St. Louis, was kind of reluctant to get it involved, but didn't know anybody. They came across this, they came to the lunch, sat down, we put them next to some talkative people, and the last lunch we had, I went to, and I walked in behind this woman, and she immediately walked in, started hugging other people, and they were talking about a dinner that they were going to have together that night at one of their homes. So again, you can't put some numbers around that and what that's meant to them. At that same event, that same lunch, that was at Post Corner Pizza, a 99-year-old gentleman came in, his daughter brought it. First thing he's done with us, and across the table from him sat 89-year-old and 87-year-old couple who hadn't done anything with us since 2017.
Wow.
So this is doing everything we really hoped it would do.
That's awesome.
We've now expanded that to not just be out and about eats, but out and about trips. Last week, we took a group of people up to the the Yale Museum of British Artwork. Fascinating, great trip, and we're starting to get people to tell us or suggest where else we can go, where other
We went to
destinations.
Lockwood Matthews Mansion.
Lockwood Matthews Mansion we went to. We're going to go to the Bruce Museum. We've gotten, Sue has been instrumental in initially, and I probably talked about that, Yo-Yo Ma, but we've got another violin concerto in October on a Sunday that we're going to take a group to. So we still need to talk about
get it done
doing
some
something.
point. Yes, we'll
so
do
that's been fantastic. A couple of big important events coming up for us. We are running a pickleball fundraiser Saturday, November 8th. We don't and haven't really done many fundraisers. We continue to be pretty much funded by private residents in Darien. So this is going to be very important. As we push ourselves to do more events, obviously we're funding most of what we do. Most of those out and about eats, we negotiate discounts, but we're not getting any kind of funding for that. So this will be important two ways. One, the registrations for people to play, and we're working on plans. So if you know anybody who plays pickleball, is interested, please have them give us a call. But also sponsors. We are looking to connect with Darien businesses, and we've started doing that. We've gotten some great feedback so far. Again, it's not something that's traditionally in our DNA of reaching out to businesses to try to get them to help, but it's a little unique. So it's very important for us because it's going to be able to sustain some of the things that we're doing. We also, on kind of that same note, we are going to be ready to send out our second mailing of our annual appeal. That will be going out in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. And again, that's real critical. Marcia, maybe not 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were doing that.
Well,
I thought we did it in November.
Well, the target is October. We've been November the last year. So, but that's important, obviously, because that's how we generate our source of funding. Okay. 2 last things. Our organization, as At Home in Darien, has been in place for 15 years. And we are nearing our 50,000th ride, which we expect to happen in October. So we are going to have a celebration. We're identifying, based on our projections, October 21st. So it's going to be held outside of the Mather Center. And if it's inclement weather, Allie's been gracious enough to allow us to come in and do the celebration inside. And Amanda DeMeo, who is an ex officio on our board, has been instrumental in working on the logistics of planning the 50,000th ride and how do we celebrate that. So more to follow on that probably the next
we're good.
Probably next meeting. Yeah,
we will.
And a lot of things are going on that we don't often I probably talk about or publicize, but the Sustainability Commission, Carolyn Bain and Susan Cameron had reached out after speaking to John Zagrodzky and others, reached out to us, and we initiated a survey with our MailChimp 1,000 email list about the swap shop and interest in having a senior-only day at the swap shop. So they continue to work on that, and it came to fruition. We have started promoting it, so all seniors who want to go to the swap shop on a special day, it's the 3rd Tuesday of each month. They did the first one yesterday, so we are asking, and they are asking that seniors call us, and we are keeping track. There are 3 different time slots, 30 minutes each, so less traffic, less hustle and bustle, and we had 4 people in the inaugural day yesterday, so we hope that'll build, and again, we'll continue to promote that. And other events like the St. Luke's Community Dinner. We brought 10 people to the St. Luke's Community Dinner last week. So if you're not getting our monthly calendar of events out there in TV 79 land, please give the office a call, and we'll get that to you, because we not only publicize our events, but we get the information from the library, so all of your amazing events, we will publicize. The Mather Center, of course, I know you have your own newsletter, but we publicize those also.
Awesome.
Thank you, Joe.
Chris, question about the pickleball.
Yeah.
Will it be just for players, or will there be an opportunity for people to also go and participate and not play? For
Yeah.
example, if a couple of my grandsons may want to play.
Yeah, well, I know you're a really competitive, aggressive
Not me.
football player, so you'll be playing. But, no, that's a great question. No, absolutely, it's not a tournament. So it's not focused on, getting involved and playing and winning, and it's a social event. So absolutely, we would hope that people, and we've talked to some people that are interested.
I'd encourage you to promote it that way as well.
There'll be plenty of people who won't be playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
who will
Yeah.
just be watching and,
Yeah.
having some.
One of the courts, we're going to have 8
bites.
courts, not to get into the weeds, but we're going to have 8 courts. One of those courts is going to have a Pickleball America Pro, and it's going to be at Pickleball America at the mall. We're going to have a pro who's going to be there for beginners. So all skill levels are welcome. The skill levels will be kind of set apart in the different courts, because I understand that's a big thing with pickleball. But no, it's designed to be fun, and we'll welcome all, and I think everybody would have a great time.
Right.
What's the date again?
November 8th, Saturday, November 8th, from 5 to 8 o'clock.
All spectators are certainly welcome.
You want to show a little bit of what it looks like?
Do you want to pass?
Sure, so, yeah, there are 2 different forms that we will be, for sponsors, we've created a sponsorship flyer, and there are a number of what we feel are benefits for our sponsors, not only tying in with At Home in Darien, but the way we promote it, the way we're going to promote it via our Out and About newsletter, and then a flyer for potential players, okay? So we are connecting with other organizations to promote this, and we haven't really done the full press, but it starts yesterday.
Do you want me to put one or both those documents into the minutes?
I would love you to.
Okay, I'll take them.
Okay.
Perfect.
Take both of
One
them.
thing I just want to say, Chris, I think it's great that you're doing all these trips, because if you guys read in the survey results, one of the things was doing more trips, and we don't have the staffing or ability to do that, so we're helping to promote all your trips, which is great.
And we've also, I've met with Liz to talk about, and I mentioned this before, other organizations. We use that van, but, we're not using that van every day, every minute. So if there are trips that you guys want to do,
I
the
don't think we're going to
limitation.
do trips, because we just don't have the staffing to do.
Well, no, so the way that we do the trips, we've got a driver and we've got a, I don't know what you want to call it. Typically, that's me, that goes with them, just to make sure. Escort, well.
Chaperone.
Yeah, chaperone, there you go.
Chaperone.
Chaperone.
That's better.
But as we learned going into New Haven, going into downtown New Haven with one-way streets, it's too much for the driver to navigate that and then offload the riders and then go in. So I will probably, or somebody, one of our volunteers, one of our board members, will always be there. So, if that's something that other organizations are potentially interested in, we'd love to partner with them.
I have another question really directed to the two of you. Does one cannibalize the other? In other words, is the number of people that eat at the senior center down on the days you have an event? And how do you harmonize that, or are you looking at how they work together?
So when we developed our October calendar of events for the Out About Eats, I went down and met with Liz and Dawn, and we looked at the days that you were having special. Well, we're trying to avoid the cannibalization, especially as it relates to their special events. The lunch, they have lunch every day, so it's unavoidable that there will be some days. And I think there are certainly a couple people that might come to an Out and About Eat lunch, but we're working closely together to avoid that and minimize that.
But, certainly the price, difference is going to be a major factor.
The price,
Too.
sure,
This is a, full lunch.
Yeah.
And I'd say there are opportunities also. So with those Out and About Eats, as I mentioned, we're getting new people that haven't engaged with us and haven't engaged with the Mather
So
Center.
important.
So we talk to them about that. We are their biggest fan and try to
Vice
get
versa.
people to test the senior center. So there are opportunities too.
Other questions for Chris? Chris, thanks for all you're doing for At Home in Darien. Really appreciate all you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Any other old business?
I just wanted to make a new plug. This was in the New York Times this summer, that superagers, sharp-witted, and over 80, sociability is a trait they share. Superagers are a diverse bunch. They don't share a magic diet, exercise regimen, or medication, but the one thing that they do share is how they view the importance of social relationships. People who socialize more are resistant to cognitive decline as they get older, and their brains get larger. And this is just another plug for looking out for the calendar of At Home in Darien, of what events we're planning. Both Chris and I are working on new events. We're going to plan a trip to Grace Farms. There's so many things around here to explore. The aquarium there. We'll be having van trips to all these places in the coming year, and would love to have people keep their eyes and ears open for when these events will happen, to call At Home in Darien if you're not getting the email calendar on the email, or just if you want it sent to you in paper, snail mail, whatever. We're looking for lots of new members.
Awesome. Thank you. Other old business? New business?
I have a piece of new
Peter, go for
business, Joe. I sent Joe last night, actually, a email that I got that I hadn't really been aware of either. Eric Rosenberg is the director of the Commission on Aging in East Haddam, okay? And he started East Haddam had no Commission on Aging, and he is a retired doctor, and he is very, he feels it's really important. They've upgraded the East Haddam Senior Center, and he is interested in forming a not-for-profit organization for members of commissions on aging, municipal agents, aging in place organizations, kind of paralleling what goes on with organizations in the state that deal with mayors and towns. And he's going to maybe look to see what kind of interest that is at the summit. And then he's also going to have a committee probably meeting in middle of October. He sees it as something where he feels that people are not networking enough across the state, and that organizations, and even where we have state like municipal agents, we know those programs have really been weak as far as how much information you've gotten, right? Again, I just mentioned that we've lost the spot for the senior center coordinator at the state level, and his feeling is perhaps we should put together, and I'm not sure I agree with him, I must say that, but thinking we should maybe look at putting together a statewide organization that deals with this and that offers a resource for people to develop these programs. Much more important, again, when we're dealing with the fact that volunteerism is going down, and we know loneliness and isolation is important, so networking. And of course, not every town has a Commission on Aging. We know that, right? Some have had them, and some have dissolved them, and some have created new ones. So again, there's no, I think, statewide standard at this point in time. Mm-hmm. And of course, our concern here, as it always should be, is Darien and Darien first. And I think we've done a great job, thanks to Joe and thanks to the fellow commission members. But going forward, we should consider that. Maybe some of us should consider how we can help other towns and how we can get information from other towns. So, that's all I know about at this point in time.
Cool. Would you like me to forward that email to the
Yeah, why
commission?
don't you,
Okay,
Joe? That
will
might
do.
be
Sure.
might be a good
Glad to
idea.
do that. Other new business? Hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting of the Commission on Aging in September? Thank you, Sue. Second. Thanks, everybody. We will see you in October.